Hello everybody, it's Ronnie with Whip and Chain. I work with Maggie and Lauren to bring you crochet tutorials. I was requested to show Tapestry. Now, Tapestry, there's 100 different versions of it all over Facebook, not Facebook, over YouTube. And for me to do a design, I'd be copying off of somebody else's diagram, and I just don't want to do that. But I can show you how to do tapestry, changing your colors and doing your project. This is, I'm not going to show it all, but this, like if you wanted to take a diagram, a picture for your tapestry, and two colors, it could show you each square represents a single crochet stitch. And let's take the border out for a minute, okay? So each block would be considered a stitch. So if we took this border out, you would count how many blocks there are in the whole project. When you would do your starting chain, you would just add one more. That's it. Single, just one more stitch. And then you just count blocks. So I would do, let's say, 5, 10, 11 blocks of the, say, white background. And then when you do that, then we have 3 blocks here of your second color choice. Then you would do your background color blocks, and see there's no paw print up here. You would just go all the way across doing your stitches. And then each row you would just recount. But forewarn you, when you do tapestry, you read right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right. So you start here and you read and you do your stitches this way, and then when you finish this row you go up one, and then you count your stitches this way. So it's always, each block represents one stitch. So you count your blocks. And then when you're ready to change color, you change color for that amount of blocks. And what's nice about tapestry, you can add more colors if you want. You're not stuck at having to do 2 colors. But it can get very confusing very fast. That way, if you want to do a project that's more than 2 colors, I just don't recommend it. I honestly would recommend corner to corner, but it's totally up to you. But I just want to show you some basics on how to do tapestry and changing rows and different things, because that's important. So I would suggest you start out with a small project, like a heart, like a circle, something really easy just to get your feet wet before you try to dive into a snowflake or a star, something that's a lot harder. I would recommend something very easy. So what you do is you start off with your chain, and you do your chain, you count your blocks, and if you have, let's say, 12 blocks, then you're done at chain 13. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay? So then what you want to do next, it doesn't matter whether the second row has color changing in it or not. You want your project to always be uniform. So even if you're not going to use your secondary color this row, I do recommend that you lay it in and get it going. So, second chain from the hook, go in. And it's hard to get started. I am not going to lie to you. It is not. But once you're started and through your first chain, your first row, you're okay, because your yarn's already being carried. leave yourself a tail, stick it below or above, and then you bring your yarn through and you crochet right over top. Okay, so you're just crocheting over top of it. You're locking in your carried yarn. And I'm going to pretend that this row has no color changing in it. See, I'm just single crocheting. All the way down. And the reason you chained one more than what you needed is when you start your row, you start single crocheting in the second chain from the hook. So even though you did 13, when you do your row, you're going to have 12 single crochets. And that's the number that you wanted. Yep, there's 12. Okay, so now we're going to turn. Now because we carried the white behind the last row, now you want to carry it in the front. So you're carrying yarn, you will always rotate. If you carried it in the back the previous row, you want to carry it in the front the next row. It rotates, okay? So change rows, next row, chain one. Now pull that up, but keep it in the front. When you do your single crochet, make sure you get that carried yarn in there. Okay, just like that. And then you're done a single crochet. And let's say it says 6 stitches of my maroon, and then we're going to do 2 stitches of white. So I did 2, 3, 4, 5. Now watch what I do with the 6th stitch. Go in there and I pull up my yarn. But my next stitch is going to be my white color. So I drop my maroon behind me and I finish this stitch with the white. Now, let's look at this. Even though I transferred to the white, the stitch is finished in the maroon. Can you see that? So my next stitch is going to be white. So same, now that even though we're white, we still carry the non-using yarn. So I said the next 2 stitches will be white. So let's go in. We'll make 1 stitch of white, 1 more stitch. But just like we did on the other one, we're going to drop our white. And remember, we've been keeping our white in the front. We're going to drop our white. Then we're going to finish that stitch with maroon. But you have 2 full stitches of white. Now the rest of the stitches are just say the maroon color. And yes, when you're doing tapestry, you will see your carried yarn. There's not a whole lot of getting around it. There's a couple things that people do. People will use smaller crochet hooks. That helps a lot. The smaller, the tighter the stitch, the less chances. And also, there's crocheting over and there's crocheting under. If you crochet under when you do tapestry, most of your stitches when you crochet over have a tiny bit of an angle to them. But when you crochet under, they're more straight. And it makes your stitches more crisp. Okay. So now we turn. Now we did in the front, so we're going to do in the back this time. So chain 1, my carrying yarn. Let's say I have 2 stitches of maroon, which means I drop my maroon, I bring up my white and finish the stitch with white. And let's say I have 6 stitches of white. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I drop the white, bring up the maroon, and finish that stitch. And then I can finish, make sure you're carrying now, the rest of my stitches of maroon. Okay, see the V stitches? Okay. And then you turn, and then you carry your non-carrying yarn in the front. And it's just repeating like that. And that is how you do tapestry. Tapestry can be used in so many different forms. You can use them for washcloths and hot pads if you use the cotton yarn. You can use them to make almost any crochet project. I've seen people use tapestry with half double crochets and double crochets. Haven't really seen it in trebles, but probably can be done. But this is the basics of tapestry. Now, I did this video for a request. If you actually have a project that you want us to do, and I can design it on my generator and make my own one. If once you watch this video and you're very interested, please message me and let me know, and I can see what I can do for you. Okay? I thank you for watching this video. My name is Ronnie. I work with Maggie and Lauren to bring you these wonderful crochet tutorials. If you could help us out and hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom, and come join us on Facebook for Whip and Chain, we would thank you so much. WIP stands for Work in Progress. Until next time, happy crocheting, everybody.